Thank you very much, Count Corla. And first of all, can I thank Fianna Fáil for the very constructive motion on apprenticeships, and I don't have a problem with incorporating some of the proposals that you have made in the action plan for apprenticeships 2016 and 2020. In the short time that I have, I'll try to address as much as I can, but I would urge people to read the action plan for apprenticeships 2016-2020. I would like to assure you that this government is committed to supporting increased registration of apprenticeships across all sectors, and a key commitment in our action plan to expand apprenticeships and traineeships to achieve the 50,000 apprenticeships and traineeship enrolments by 2020, almost doubling the current levels of activity. Over the lifetime of the plan, we will see over 40 new apprenticeships and over 30 new traineeships being delivered. To date, 17 new apprenticeships programmes are now operational, following the Apprenticeships Council's 2 call-outs proposals in 2015 and 2017. And these new programmes span a variety of sectors, ranging from financial services, biopharma, ICT, hospitality, and further new apprenticeships will get underway in 2018 and 2019. And various, including construction, engineering, horticulture and agriculture. Year on year, we are exceeding the targets for registrations on craft trades. However, it is important to note that not all craft trades have recovered to the same rate, and there is ongoing engagement between Solas and the construction industry shareholders on support for some of the lower volume trades, including on proposals to develop the model of shared apprenticeship. And again, you will all be aware that the basic apprenticeships, which they were called the basic apprenticeships, very important at the time, would have been plaster and bricklaying, carpentry and so on. That a lot of that collapsed before this government came into power because of the collapse of the building industry. And actually, as a matter of fact, statistics show that during the boom in building, that many, as has been said by Deputy Wallace, many companies were not taking on apprenticeships for the very reason that they needed to get stuff built quickly and developed quickly, and hired and went out and hired people, direct labour and so on. So you can't possibly blame the government for that, but I will say that that was a problem. The Generation Apprenticeship National Promotional Campaign has been underway since 2017, led by the Apprenticeship Council and in cooperation support from Solas, and it promotes apprenticeships on TV, radio, along with social media platforms that include Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. It has been designed to influence parents, teachers and potential apprentices on the career paths and further educational opportunities arising from apprenticeship programmes. There will be a stepped-up focus on employers in the second phase of the national promotional campaign. Indeed, the Apprenticeship Council is currently engaging with industry sectors to gather feedback on apprenticeships provision, to discuss practical challenges as well as opportunities emerging and plans for the future. It would also give consortia direct access to the Council's guidance and support, which will ensure the sustainability of newly developed apprenticeships. Work is also underway in relation to pre-apprenticeship provision, and I am informed by Solas that they are currently engaged with key stakeholders in considering, if you like, relevant pathways and opportunities for pre-apprenticeship initiatives, including the craft trades. I'm conscious of the time. There's also a need to ensure that the apprenticeships is easily accessible to everyone. Solas has completed a review of the pathways to apprenticeships, which is available on the website, and the purpose of the review is to ensure that our national apprenticeship system is more reflective of the range of diversity of the population, more inclusive of diverse backgrounds, and that has been spoken about, and abilities and the apprenticeship opportunities that are more readily accessible to all. My department will continue to work with Solas and apprenticeship partners and stakeholders to progress areas identified for action. There's a couple of, I'll just go through very briefly because there's some important issues I need to talk to. This government is committed to supporting the expansion of the apprenticeship and trainee system in Ireland, and the government has increased the 2019 budget allocation for apprenticeship training by 16% to 142 million, and the traineeship budget by almost 17% to 47.9 million to support this activity. Apprenticeships have received a lot of media attention in the last few days, with 2 new apprenticeships, for instance, by a pharma sector, laboratory analyst and technician being launched. We also saw over 200 craft apprenticeships being presented with their advanced certificates in Waterford, and the first new industry-led apprenticeships receiving their degree in industrial electrical engineering. There's a couple of issues that were brought up. Other countries were mentioned, Germany, Austria and so on. You know, like, you have to take things in proportion. The size of the country, size of the economy, population of the country. I know there are some countries relevant to us who are doing very well. The particular industry in the country, like the big steel industries in Germany, car manufacturing, we don't have that, so we don't have the apprenticeships to place in those countries. Also, you will be aware that there is an issue that when you're in a country that you come close to full employment, there's a difficulty then in attracting apprenticeships with call-outs if you already are at 5 or 6% of full employment, and that is a difficulty. Someone asked about Borden and Mona, I think one of the Sinn Féin deputies. There are apprenticeships in Borden and Mona in automation, plant fitting and so on. We do have some difficulties, there's no question about it, in gender accessibility and diversity. And like, what I would say is, if you look at all of the apprenticeships, all of the 29 from electrical, instrument, insurance practices, one are open to all gender, and we have some difficulty, and we are dealing with it as best as we can with all of the agencies as to why there's a low take-up of female apprenticeships. But I will give you some statistics. In 2015 we had 16. In 2016 we had 60, 2017 145. This year we have 323. Small but substantially growing, and I think that we will deal with that. There's a couple of issues that Fianna Fáil brought up, regarding the apprenticeship promotional campaign. There is a promotional campaign for generation apprenticeships, and it's been underway since 2017, led by the Apprenticeship Council with cooperation from Solus, and the second phase of the generation apprenticeship campaign is now underway. Also, ETBs and Solus are currently working to implement the PLC review recommendation of 500 pre-apprenticeship places in PLC colleges, which will promote enhanced access to apprenticeships under representative groups, and the independent review on career guidance, which has been carried out by Indicon International Consultants, will examine the quality and range of information and resources available to students in schools and other settings. So if you look at where we came from and where we are, I think we've advanced significantly in the apprenticeships as to where we were in the devastation of the apprenticeships way back in the last 10-15 years as to where we are today. And can I just say this? The targets, for instance, have been brought up. The annual targets for apprenticeships registrations are set out in the action plan, as I've asked you to have a look at. The 2016 apprenticeships registration target was exceeded with 3,821 apprentices registered in the year. This represents a 317% increase on a low of 1,024 apprenticeships in 2010. And although the upward trend continues with a total of 4,843 new registrations, 4,508 craft and 335 new. In 2017 we did not reach our target of 800 new registrations on a total of 15 new apprenticeships in 2017. We did, however, exceed our target of 4,147 registrations in craft apprenticeships. As at the end of October 2018, there were 4,655 apprentice registrations, comprising 4,135 registrations on craft-based apprenticeships and 520 registrations on new programmes. I want to say, as I said earlier on, at the beginning of that I think some of the proposals that have been made by Fianna Fáil are very constructive, and I and my department will most certainly look at these proposals over the next number of weeks. Although we have the action plan for apprenticeships that I have said and stated, set out 2016-2020, we are all of the time dealing with shareholders, talking to shareholders, and also listening to what people say, companies and so on. And one final issue I would make, that on all of these apprenticeships that we have, we do call-outs, but it is sometimes very difficult to direct the people you want into a particular apprenticeship to come into that apprenticeship. We can do all we can advertise it, we can go to the schools, as we do, we can go to the businesses, we can put up websites and so on. But when you do a call out, you do rely on people stepping up to say, I want to participate in that apprenticeship. And often TDs come to me and say, like, there's old apprenticeships that are lost and old skills and old crafts that are lost. Could we try and reinvigorate them? I say, yes, come forward with a number of people who might be interested in it. If it's thatching or whatever it is, and we'll see can we get an apprenticeship programme going for that particular skill.
Thank you,
so can I again thank Fianna Fáil. I'm delighted with this motion. I would have liked to have a lot more time to speak on it. We will not be opposing the motion, because we believe there are some elements of the motion that are practical, constructive, and can be added to the action plan for apprenticeships 2016 and 2020. Thank you, Ceann Comhairle.
Thank you very much, Minister.